regular October meeting of the Madison County Board of Commissioners will be held Monday, October 16th, 2023. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong one. Monday, November 20th, 2023, 8:30 a.m. We're at the West Tennessee Research and Education Center, 605 Airways Boulevard. Commissioner Wall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today we have Pastor Brian Morris of Ararat Baptist Church. He's been in the ministry for 26 years. He's pastored in Fayette, Henderson, Gibson, and now in Madison County. He's been married to Rachel for 24 years. They have 3 children, Hunter, Bailey, and Kendall, and they love living and serving in Madison County. So I present Pastor Brian Morris this morning for our devotion and pledge.
Thank you so much. It's good to be with you all this morning. I want to read Psalm 1 this morning, 6 verses. The Word of God says this: "How happy is the one who does not walk in the advice of the wicked, or stand in the pathway with sinners, or sit in the company of mockers. Instead, his delight is in the Lord's instructions, and he meditates on it day and night. He is like a tree planted beside flowing streams that bears fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. Whatsoever he does prospers. The wicked are not like this. Instead, they are like the chaff the wind blows away. Therefore, the wicked will not stand up in the judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked leads to ruin." I think about this psalm, and I think about 2 directions that the psalmist says each of us have the choice to make. We can go in one direction, which is the way of the righteous. And the Bible says that the way of the righteous will flourish, will grow, and prosper. Yet there's another direction he mentions, and it's the way of the wicked. And the way of the wicked leads to ruin and destruction. And it's my prayer for you today as leaders in our county and this great city that you would follow the Lord's instructions in everything that you do, every decision you make, and that you would put him first and foremost in everything. And so it's my prayer today that he would prosper each of you as you look to the best interests of the citizens of this county and area. So I want to thank you all for your service and all your hard work and all that you do for the citizens here. And I'd like to offer up a prayer for you. Father, Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your many blessings.
Yes.
I thank you for the men and women around these tables this morning. And Lord, I pray that, Lord, as they meet to make decisions for the county and, Lord, the great citizens that make up this county, I pray, Father, that you would lead them and guide them. I pray for discernment and wisdom and knowledge. And I pray that you would bless the decisions they make as they look to the best interest of the people. And may you bless them and prosper them, and watch over their families, protect them, and bless them as well. We love you, and we thank you for being God. For it's in Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Abernathy. A-Day. Alexander. Arnold. Black.
Present.
Bond. Carly. Brown. Claudel. Bryant Cindy.
Yes, here.
Bryant Mike. Deaton. Ellison. Godwin. Hill. Hall. Hicks. Johnson Arthur. Jones. Martin. Mercer. Montague. Niehoff. Taylor.
Here.
Tippett. Wall.
Here.
Watson. 23 present, Mr. Chairman.
I'm here.
I got you, yes, ma'am.
Without objection, we'll enter the minutes in by unanimous consent. Any public comments? I'm sorry, Mr. Deaton.
Before we start, I'd like to recognize that our good friend Arthur Johnson is back with us today.
Anyone else? Mr. Martin, did you?
Put a flyer out with everybody of something I'm wanting to bring back to Madison County, which is Christmas in the Park. We're going to start out this year with about 10, 15 displays. I'm actually heading to Springfield as soon as we're done to pick up the initial order. I talked with AJ, and what we're going to do as a teaser is start out, put our displays around the courthouse square to bring people in. Then eventually we'll either move to Leap or Bourne, depending on where we think we'll get the most traffic. But this will be commercial displays. It's like 10 by 15 large animated displays. I did this in Murray. I grew it from 13 to 160 in 3 years. I throw out sponsorships to local businesses, so if you're a local businessman, I'll probably be knocking on your door soon. I ask you to sponsor a sign, and we like a sign up saying sponsored by, and that's how we get publicity for our sponsors. But also, this usually brings in tens of thousands of people to our community to see the lights once it gets up and going. But if you have any questions, the flyer's right there. If you're interested, or you know somebody would be interested, please pass on my name and number so we can get this rolling. But you're going to see immediately, probably the next week or two, we get them installed around the courthouse, that you're going to see where we're going with it. I think you're all going to like it very much. So let me know if you're interested, and thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Announcements from the chair. I'd like to send out our condolences to Chief Turner for his mother passing away. We're sorry to hear about that. And Commissioner Hall, we hope your mother's doing much better. Also, I'd like to notice that the County Commission appreciates the veterans. We celebrated Veterans Day since the last agenda, and we have a number of veterans in here: Commissioner Mercer, Commissioner Deaton, Commissioner Jones, and I would just like to give them a round of applause for defending our country. And I'm sure there's more. Commissioner Hale. And Mr. Ellison, yes. Yeah. Report and presentations from the county mayor.
Thank you, Chairman. In front of you is a land option purchase term sheet for Project SAM. We've been hard at it, Team Madison County, and bringing industry to Madison County, and we've had tremendous success with 6K back in the spring, which was the second largest announcement. It'll be one of the largest utility users in the county once they show up. And they should be under construction in the next 30 days, we're hoping. But this is a similar project. Project SAM is in the electric field as well. They make components for batteries. Through negotiations with them, they've chosen Airport Site B, half of that site. The site's about 108 acres. They'd like 44 of those. They've agreed to a sales price of $60,000 an acre, which is a record per acre sales price for Madison County industrial projects. They are asking 60 days to do their due diligence on environmentals. On the 61st day, there will be a on initial option fee will be a $25,000 remittance. And then on day 61, they will write a check for $264,000. That is non-refundable, so if the project for some reason doesn't happen between then and commencement date, that $264,000 stays in control of Madison County. The option period is 12 months. On 12 months, one day, they'll become full owner of the property. During that 12-month period, I've asked for a 6-month and a 9-month formal review of the process of their application. They are self-funded with venture capitalist firms as well as their own private fundraising. But a big portion of their funding is a Department of Energy grant to the tune of nearly $200 million if they're able to get it. So that process is ongoing. They'll have that application completed in March of next year. And they will know by August whether or not they got that funding. So 12 months gives them enough time to make sure that all that's in place. The reason I bring this before you, number one, is just transparency, letting you know what we have coming before the commission. But they've asked for something a little interesting, and I think I'm 100% behind it. When they first showed up to Madison County and sat in the chamber offices, they asked us, which is I think unusual for an industry, they asked us what issue could we solve for Madison County if we come here? What is a problem that we as a company could step in the gap for? We talked about several things. They landed on the lack of childcare in Madison County. Back in 2010, there was over 80 childcare facilities in Madison County. Today, there's about 20 or 25. So you can see, and our children population has not dropped that much. So childcare in Madison County, if you know of grandkids or have kids of your own that you've wanted childcare for, birth to kindergarten, you know how difficult that is, how expensive that is, and the options just aren't out there. So they've asked that their initial down payment of $25,000 and the $264,000 be set aside to help fund a childcare facility in Madison County. And another piece I want to tell you on here, this is not the final option sheet. I'm expecting language back that will include a $264,000 increase in their payment on that 12 months. So the county will not miss any funding. That $264 is not going away. They're going to pay it in the back end. They just want that initial down payment to kickstart this project. Commissioner Black and Commissioner Abernathy have been a part of my Madison County's Children's Cabinet in their capacity with both of their day jobs, and that has been a topic of conversation with our Children's Cabinet, is trying to bridge the gap for not only early childhood education, but just child care in Madison County. So this facility is in the fledgling phase. Nothing's been planned necessarily yet, but the thoughts being it'll be in our industrial area. Most of or at least half maybe is kind of the thoughts right now, half of the spots will be for our industrial employees. So it'll eliminate turnover. It'll give the option for a single mom or a single dad to have a place to drop their child off while they're working first or second shift. The industry, we expect our local industry to contribute to this building, because it's going to help them with turnover and help them with a lot of issues. And maybe someday spin it into a benefit just like healthcare or 401k would be for these businesses. You get childcare, or at least to help with childcare, if you work in Madison County. So I'm asking for a suspension of the rules to approve this. Reason being, Project Sam was in town Friday and would really like just at least a verbal confirmation that this is going to go forward and that this is amenable. So I'm asking for suspension of the rules to approve me to sign this. If you'll see, I want to bring your attention to the second page under milestones. It says option agreement execution. Both parties will enter a more detailed option to purchase agreement, which will specify all terms, conditions, and obligations. So this is not a final product. This is not a final agreement. This is a good faith that we are in concert with them, and we want this to move forward. So I guess I'll entertain a motion or I'd ask for a motion to suspend the rules, but before that, does anybody have any questions about Project Sam or this specific situation? I will tell you it'll be most likely the second largest industrial announcement in Madison County history. Georgia Pacific Dixie was about $425 million. This one will be in that ballpark as well. And it'll be 200 plus very, very high paying jobs, about 20% above county average for these jobs. So this is exactly what we look for in the industrial development world. We look for high CapEx and we look for high paying jobs, and we're getting both of that here.
Do we have a motion to suspend the rules? Commissioner Hale?
I've got a question. As far as the mechanics and the timing, the first payment would go where? And where would it sit, and who would have authority over it?
The first payment will be held with the county. I ensure that happens. And once again, those funds, there's no project to put that money to right now.
Right.
I don't
I
have
think that's one of my
Yeah.
concerns, is that I think the idea is great, but as far as the process, I'm not sure if we've done anything like that before, and if
Right.
we're set up
What I
right
recommend
now,
is-
or
yeah.
what else would need to occur
Right.
to
What
make
I would
sure
recommend is that
it's
first
successful?
$25,000 along with the $264 would be set aside, and essentially, before it moves over to the body that's gonna be driving the ship on this childcare center, it would come before this body again, to make sure it moves over. The company just wants to be able to say that they put their efforts behind this.
Commissioner Alexander?
Make a motion, we suspend the rules before we discuss any further.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Black. All those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Rules suspended. Continued discussion. Commissioner Deaton, you are up first.
I guess, this is kind of a little vague here on 264 and the 25,000 goes towards building the care center, the child care center, and is this an ongoing funding? Who's funding it? Actually, we're funding that initial down payment.
And, well, technically, I guess you could say that. Like I said, they're gonna make us right on the back end and pay that $264 more for the property. So instead of $2,640,000, it'll be $2,640,000 plus $264 that they will pay for the property. So they're actually committing more to the project. So the county will not miss any of the original funding. So if we were to say no to this, all we're doing is taking money out of the opportunity for a child care center. That's to be determined, to be real honest with you. The Madison County Children's Cabinet is taking up driving the ship on that, and that's to be determined. It will not be Madison County, to be clear. Madison County, we're not in the child care business, will not be
So
operating.
this child care will be a private facility operated by that industry.
Not by that industry, by someone else, by a child care provider, most likely. The way it's worked in other counties that have taken on projects like this is they'll actually bid out the project like they would anything else. Clarksville is in the process of building an $18 million facility in Clarksville. The way they did that, the county, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Abernathy, because you've more into this than I am, but the county donated the land. They put it out for bid. A private child care facility entrepreneur really won the bid, and so she is taking on the debt of that $18 million. Her job is to fund it. Her job is to get students in that facility. But half of the facility, 400 students, or 400 children, are dedicated to the industrial park area.
What size will this facility be?
To be determined. We've talked about anything from 100 to 400. I think 200, 250 child care facility is a good place to start. Shows a lot of
We're gonna be voting on a lot of unknowns here then, correct?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, this is not the final product. I've been told that that we could move forward, but I don't want to do that. I want to put it before this body and let you guys talk into it.
What's the projected timeline for this project once it starts?
Projected timeline is once again to be determined. We don't know. The money will be held in Madison County. If the child care facility doesn't happen, the money's held here. We don't know, to be honest with you. Like I said, this conversation about a child care facility for our industrial park area really started 90 days ago as a real option. So, like I said, this company was in front of us, asked what they could help solve. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys in this group, part of their Department of Energy grant application is showing commitment to the community. So this is gonna help them with their application. So they wanna do it as a company, it's just, I believe, who they are, but they also can put it on their application that they've already invested in a project that's gonna solve a need for our community.
Commissioner Abernathy.
Vicki Bunch put a team together from the chamber to look at this project and to investigate it. So there are people who are like developing a plan for that. But there is a lot of interest from other industries to also invest. And so this money would create momentum to continue the investment to see that through from private industries. But no one's getting into the business of childcare. There will be an RFP where a childcare provider then can submit a proposal to run that and operate it.
Commissioner Brown.
Sounds like a very interesting and positive project. The questions in my mind is that most projects, be it a business plan or whatever, would have at least a timetable when some of these questions would be answered. Because we're getting in a car and we're unsure who the driver is, we're unsure which direction is going in, or the distance of the route that we're traveling. You know, is there a timetable when any of these questions can be answered?
I will say this, we have full control of the funds, and before those funds are moved to whatever entity is taking on this facility, it'll come before this body again. So I'm sure I will have better answers down the line once some more known is known. Right now, it's just it's in the beginning phases, and once again, this project is moving rapidly. March the 6th is when their Department of Energy application is due. So we're going to work on our end to have some of those questions answered for them so they can know what they're actually funding and what it looks like. So before funds are moved out of the county control, it's going to come before this body. And if it's approved, then that's what we'll do, but there'll be more specifics then. This is not, once again, not the final sheet.
I just want to say real quick, you got to remember, there's a huge pot of federal money out there for these green projects that are going on right now, and they're trying to push them out the door as quick as they can before the next election. So I think that's one reason why they're moving so quick. Now, like I said, this isn't going to cost the county any money. This is just federal money that's going somewhere, so we might as well take it. Commissioner Hill?
Yes, sir. It sounds like this is a letter of intent, or the beginnings of a letter of intent, and so I think it behooves us to move forward with at least pursuing and wondering and coming up with an idea that we could activate and maybe even implement one day. And so, because it's just in the idea phase, and we want to be supportive of this investment in our community, I make a motion to approve with the expectation that there's more information to be brought back to us.
Second.
Commissioner Black, second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
No.
Roll call.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Day.
Yes.
Alexander.
Yes.
Arnold.
Pass.
Black.
Yes.
Bond.
Yes.
Brown.
Would you come back to me?
Bryant. Cindy. Bryant. Mike. Deaton.
No.
Ellison.
Yes.
Godwin. I'm sorry, ma'am.
Come back.
Thank you. Hill.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Johnson.
Pass.
Jones.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Mercer.
Yes.
Montague.
Yes.
Niehoff. Taylor.
Yes.
Tippit.
Yes.
Wall.
No.
Watson.
Yes.
Anyone want to change their votes?
Change mine to yes. Mine to yes.
Brown to yes.
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 Commissioner Godwin to yes.
Well, it's for them to tell us what we're consumed. That's mine.
I heard 19 yes, 2 no, 2 pass.
19 yes, 2 no, 2 pass, motion passes.
One more thing. I'd like to recognize we have some Leisure Jackson participants with us this morning, so thank you guys for being here.
Dr. King was scheduled to be here, and he had an issue come up this morning that he had to attend, but we look forward to hearing from him, hopefully at the next commission meeting. And as I've stated before, whether he's on the agenda or not, he always has the opportunity to come and speak to us at any time. And we appreciate all his hard work, but he is a very busy man, and he was sorry that he wasn't able to be here this morning. Any reports from county officials, standing and special committees, any old business action thereon by the board? Commissioner Alexander.
Property committee met, and I don't have anything for us to vote on this morning, but I did want to make an announcement. Earlier in the year, we identified some major problems in our county buildings not having AED coverage. That's automatic external defibrillators for possible heart attack victims or whatever. And we did make an investment and buy some of these units. I just want to let y'all know that 2 weeks ago, Jason Moore with EMA finished installing those in the buildings for us. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any amendments, transfers to the general fund, school department? I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, the Ag Committee will have a meeting this morning at 11:30. If anybody's interested in being at the Ag Center.
Thank you, Commissioner Tippett. Any amendments, transfers to the general fund, school department, capital projects, highway department, debt services, juvenile court services, budgets for fiscal year 23-24? Commissioner Alexander.
Yes, we have 3 amendments from the school system to come before the body this morning and 17 from the county. We're going to get started with the school system ones first. 141 general purpose schools, $1,000 ARP IDA CCEIS. It's to add transfer from ARP IDEA to 141 CCEIS for instructional supplies.
It's committee recommendation. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
Item 2 is for $485,824.75. It's a public school security grant to add new public school security grant money.
Committee recommendation. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Pass.
Number 3, $390,581. This is for voluntary pre-K to align munis with state-approved budgets in the E-plan.
It's committee recommendation. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passes.
Item 4 is on the county side. That's from Highway, $100,000. Increase the number of projects requiring large amounts of base material as depleted funds in gravel and church account, moving $100,000 from the highway fund balance in order to continue operations.
Committee recommendation. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Pass.
Number 5 is health, $175,000. Budget amendment to reduce reimbursement from health department from $325 to $150.
Committee recommendation, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passes.
Item 6 is SRO equipment for the school system, $150,000 capital fund. Budget amendment to add $150,000 for FUSIS contract for Jackson-Madison County SRO software equipment.
Committee recommendation, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Sorry.
Make a motion to take 7 through 19 at once. These are all grants. It doesn't affect fund balance.
Second.
Motion to take all amendments 7 through 19 at once. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passes.
Item 7 is for the network grant for THSO, $20,000. Number 8 is the Sheriff's TCI training grant. That's about $15,000. Number 9, Sheriff's Crisis Intervention Training, $66,834. Sheriff's Victims Services Supplement Grant, $60,500. Sheriff's THSO Enforcement of Tennessee Driving Under the Influence Grant Laws, $64,338.88. Sheriff, number 12, Sheriff Collaborative Crisis Grant, $45,358. 13, Sheriff's Mental Health Transportation Grant, $226,672. Item 14, Recovery Court, Family Centered Services, $36,029. Number 15, Sheriff's Anti-Litter Grant, $30,000. 16, Sheriff's BGA Bringing Home the Lost, $7,800. 17, Sheriff's for Pathways, $25,000. 18, Sheriff's BGA Collaborative Crisis Grant, $33,660. 19, Sheriff's Evidence-Based Jail Program Grant, $252,000.
It's committee recommendation. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
I would like the sheriff department to tell us who writes the grants. That's great. Those are a lot of grants, and whoever does need to be commended. Who is that?
Christy Bowman.
Okay. It's a great job.
Item 20 is transfers, Parks and Recreation, $24,375, requesting to move that money from part-time personnel over to full-time position, and moving it to other salaries and wages to cover the one-time position.
Committee recommendation. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passes.
Mr. Chairman, that completes the Budget Committee's report.
Anyone else? Commissioner Brown.
I understand that since the meeting, we allocated some money to the school department. My constituent asked myself, I didn't know anything about it. I don't remember voting on anything since budget time for that. And I thought it might come up in the amendment. Is anybody else heard it?
Well, we were going to allow Dr. King to speak about that this morning, but there was some back and forth between the accounting contract between Madison County and the school system. And there was a difference of roughly $50,000 where I think we were wanting to charge him $50,000 more. He was wanting to pay $50,000 less, but in the end, Dr. King agreed to pay what we were asking. And we went back and worked it out where I told him that if he would agree that that money goes directly to the classroom where teachers can write grants to apply for this money and show us proof of where it's going, which he's agreed to do, that we would let him keep that $50,000. So it really was an amendment. We just agreed to lower our contract for accounting for the money to go directly into the classrooms for the teachers. And I'm sure he'll speak on it. And he was wanting to be here today to mention it. And I want to encourage him to speak because he's done a good job of putting the things together that teachers are going to be able to write for grants. So if they feel like they need $500 for something for their classroom, they can write in for a grant, and he can award that grant to them.
Mr. Attorney, since it's county funds, wouldn't we have, as a commission, need to vote to allocate county funds?
Well, the county funds weren't actually allocated. What he's talking about is the accounting service
I
agreement.
guess the county.
Right, so last year, the county charged for those services to the school system $325,000. This year was $275 with the agreement that the 50 in savings, they would set up that fund with their own funds for the teachers.
Okay. Do you have any savings that you owe me?
No, not right now.
I'm just saying.
Not right now, but we'll look for some. I'm sorry, Commissioner Godwin.
I just want to add to that, in the absence of the superintendent, I was there when they voted, talked about that and voted on that in regard to supporting the teachers. They decided to give $1,000 per classroom per teacher. Either teachers could get together and write something, and all of them together could put in for $1,000. So that's the limit per teacher in regard to the $50,000. I just wanted to add that because I was there at the meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? Resolution to approve agreement with Corporate Planning Network to Administrator Healthcare Flex Spending Accounts for Madison County employees. Does anyone want to speak to this?
On number 11?
Yes. No? 9.
I guess I can speak to it. This is what I understand, going back to the original provider, had a lot of customer service issues and communication and billing issues with the new provider, so just going back to the way it was before, about this time last year.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve?
Did this not come through committee?
Came through personnel, I believe.
Okay. It was a committee recommendation.
I'm not
Was
sure,
it?
I'm not on that committee. Do you know, is anyone on that committee that can speak to it?
I was, Karen?
It came through personnel and budget committee, and budget committee accepted it, personnel accepted the change. As the mayor said, it's just converting back to
So
the
it is,
old.
Okay.
I guess my question was, is it a committee recommendation?
It is a committee recommendation since it came through there. So it's a committee recommendation, no second required. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? No. Resolution passes. I think this is actually going to save some money as well and help out the Human Resources Department. Number 10, appointment of 8 members to the Commission Rules and Bylaws Committee by CLB. 1-year term, Jeff Wall, Juanita Jones, Andy Hall, Arthur Johnson, Mike Taylor, Kevin Hicks, Tony Black, and Tony Niehoff, incumbents. Who was up first? I'm sorry. Jeff?
I'd like to make a motion that we reappoint Jeff Wall, Juanita Jones, Andy Hall, Arthur Johnson, Kevin Hicks, Tony Black, and Tony Niehoff, who are incumbents, and then since you are now the chair, replace you with Commissioner Alexander.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Deaton, second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Appointments pass.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Let me say, I appreciate being put on the committee. I spoke at the meeting last time, and I'm man enough to admit that I may have been a little premature. So again, thank you. I can admit that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Appointment of 1 member to the Education Foundation Committee by CLB, 1-year term. Now, remember, some of these are already on there, different terms, but we're reappointing just to get everything in line with where they should be because there was confusion. Gary Neese, incumbent. Commissioner
A
Howell.
motion. Well, my first question, do we have any other applications come in over the 30 days that we waited?
We do. We have Mr. Dwight Jones that came in for Trey Cleek's position coming up.
Okay. Well, I'd make a motion to reappoint Gary Neese.
I second.
We have a first and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Mr. Neese is reappointed. Appointment of 1 member to the Education Foundation Committee by CLB, 2-year term, Trey Cleek, incumbent. And we also have Mr. Jones as a candidate as well, and I'm not sure who was up first.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Dwight Jones to that position.
Second.
We have a first and second on Mr. Jones.
I make a motion we appoint Trey Cleveland.
Cleek.
Second.
Do I have a second? Second. Okay. We have a first and second on Mr. Dwight Jones and Mr. Cleek. I think I saw Mr. Jones here earlier. Mr. Jones, would you like to speak? Come on down and you can talk to the group.
Thank you, Chairman.
Appreciate it, Commissioner. I've already spoken to you on several different occasions. I would like to have the opportunity to serve on the Education Foundation Board, and I would appreciate your support. Thank you.
Is Mr. Cleek here? I don't think I see him anywhere. All right, roll call. We'll be voting for Cleek or Jones.
Abernathy.
Jones.
A-Day. Alexander.
Click.
Arnold.
Jones.
Black.
Jones.
Bond.
Click.
Thank you. Brown.
Jones.
Bryant. Cindy. Bryant. Mike. Deaton.
Click.
Ellison.
Jones.
Godwin.
Jones.
Hill.
Click.
Hall.
Click.
Hicks.
Click.
Johnson. Jones.
Jones.
Martin.
Jones.
Mercer.
Jones.
Montague.
Jones.
Niehoff. Taylor.
Cleek.
Tippit. Wall. Watson. Cleek, 12, 11.
11 votes for Jones, 12 for Cleek. Cleek is appointed. We gotta have a majority? Okay, sorry. All right, now we're gonna re-vote for Cleek. So Mr. Jones will fall off. Roll call.
Abernathy.
Come back to me.
I'm sorry,
Can
ma'am.
you come back to me?
Yes, ma'am. A-Day. Alexander. Arnold. Black.
No.
Bond.
Click.
Brown.
Pass.
Bryant.
Click.
Bryant. Mike. Deaton.
Click.
Ellison. Godwin.
No.
Hill.
Click.
Hall.
Click.
Hicks.
Click.
Johnson. Jones.
Pass.
Martin.
No.
Mercer.
No.
Montague.
No.
Niehoff. Taylor.
Cleek.
Tippit. Wall. Watson.
Click.
Does anybody want to change their votes? Fourteen yes, 6 no, two pass.
But I missed one somewhere, but it should be 23. 15 yes.
15 yes. Motion Cleek passes. Appointment of one member to the Education Foundation by CLB, 3-year term, Marcus Love, incumbent.
Motion to reappoint.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor of Mr. Love being appointed, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Mr. Love is reappointed. Appointment of the Jackson-Madison County Emergency Management Agency Director by County Mayor with CLB approval, 2-year term, Jason Moore, incumbent.
Make a recommendation to reappoint Mr. Moore.
Make a motion, we reappoint.
Second. All those in favor of Mr. Moore, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Mr. Moore is reappointed. Appointment of one member to the Interregion Historical Zoning Board by CLB, 5-year term, Lonnie Harris, incumbent.
That needs to be corrected, it's actually the mayor.
It's the mayor's.
Make a recommendation to reappoint Ms. Harris.
I think Ms. Harris is here. Would you like to speak?
as needed, but it's a very important function in our community, especially those who have historical preservation in mind. And I appreciate the opportunity to serve.
We thank you for your service. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Ms. Harris is reappointed.
You didn't do a motion to appoint her, so I think we have to vote on the motion.
It's okay.
Do what now?
I was just gonna make the motion, it's fine.
Do we need to redo it?
How will the minutes reflect on who made the motion?
Make a motion.
We need to make the motion.
I was standing to make the motion, but it's fine.
I thought Joey made the motion.
No, sir.
You didn't? Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just redo it. Joey, you want to make the motion?
Well, Commissioner Wall was standing, so
I make a motion that we accept the mayor's appointment of Lonnie Harris to this committee.
I'll second it though.
Okay. We have first and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Ms. Harris is reappointed. Election of notary public. Public. I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Passes. Any and all matters related, connected with matters set forth in items 1 through 16.
Yes.
Mr. Brown.
Mr. Chairman, a few meetings ago, we had quite a few more citizens, visitors here, and they inquired about the roster that we used to been maintaining, where all the commissioners that where they could keep a tally of how we voted on issues. It's a very small and inexpensive matter, but in the spirit of accountability and transparency, could we make sure that we had them available for citizens so that they could follow?
Sure.
Okay.
We're going to, and I think in December, we're going to be moving to an electronic voting system, not in December, January. Electronic voting system where you'll be able to press yes or no, and it'll show the names and the votes on the screen. So that will also give some transparency to that issue. Commissioner Deaton?
Yeah, I'd just like to recognize Jason Moore. The appointment was outstanding. He's done an outstanding job, and so often we don't recognize the job that these boys are doing. So, Jason, we appreciate you very much, man. You do a great job. Appreciate it.
Mr. Godwin?
I'm standing because earlier I had stood twice and I was not recognized. And someone else had to tell the chairman to recognize me. Also, when he made the motion, I was up and made a second, and someone else recognized someone else. I don't know if there's a problem here, but if there is a problem, I need to be talking. I'm not going to be disrespectful.
I apologize. I didn't see you.
I've sat in that seat before. No problem. Sometimes you just don't see everybody standing, so if nobody disrespecting me.
Mr. Deaton, you ain't got to do with that.
Yeah, I do. I just told you.
No.
Point of order, let's just stay
You're
on.
not sitting in the seat. Here.
Please address the chair.
But yeah, I was.
Please address the chair. And I apologize if I didn't see you. One of the issues, Joey's a lot taller than you are, and sometimes he gets your attention, but I do apologize. And maybe just raise your hand, or let me know, because I'm not doing that on purpose, I promise you. Yes, Commissioner Brown. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. We are adjourned. There's no roll call.